Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday Dhamma Talk series. We are delighted to have you all here for this special Dhamma Talk number 79. Today, we have a remarkable session lined up for you as we delve into the profound teachings of the Ānāpānasati Sutta Majjhima Nikaya 118 with Bhante Sumitta. The founder of Dhamma USA, the US-based 501c3 nonprofit organization with community care and spiritual care activities. This weekly special Dhamma Talk series aims to expand the Dhamma knowledge of our Dhamma USA community, and we're honored to have renowned Buddhist monastics from around the world sharing their wisdom with us. This insightful session will take place every Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and 7:30 p.m. Malaysian Time on Dhamma USA's YouTube channel and other social media platforms. Best of all, it's free for all to attend. So mark your calendars and make sure not to miss these precious Dhamma sharing sessions. Today we have the honor of welcoming our dear Bhante Sumitta, the founder of Dhamma USA, for today's Dhamma talk titled Ānāpānasati Sutta, Discourse on Mindfulness of Breathing. We will explore the deep insights offered by the Ānāpānasati Sutta. Bhante Sumitta will guide us through the essence of this sutta, shedding light on its teachings for inner transformation and achieving peace and harmony within ourselves. So without further ado, I am ready to invite Bhante Sumitta to grace us with his wisdom as he delivers the special Dhamma talk number 79 on Ānāpānasati Sutta, Discourse on Mindfulness of Breathing. We encourage your active participation, so please feel free to ask questions and share your thoughts in the comment section.
Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhamang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadam Dhamma savana kalo ayam bhadanta Dhamma savana kalo ayam bhadanta Dhamma savana kalo ayam bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Digham Assa Sankto Digham Assa Samiti Pajanati Rasang Assa Sankto Rasang Assa Samiti Pajanati. Hello dear Dhamma friends, welcome to our Sunday Dhamma Talk series. Today marks our Dhamma Talk number 79. I'm so happy to meet you this morning to talk about Ānāpānasati Sutta. How many times a minute do we breathe in? Do you know that? A person at rest takes about 16 breaths per minute. That means 60 breaths an hour. 23,040 breaths per day. That means 84, I don't know how to call it, maybe 84 million something. And then 700, 672 million something will we will have breaths. So 84 million something um, uh, a year, and 673 um, 768 so many breaths in a lifetime. If we live like 80 years, okay, maybe I will, because I just share this thing for you just in case. This is how much we breathe in a year, breathe in a year. Okay, and this is how much breathes in a lifetime if we live like 80 years. Okay, that's so much breath.
Yeah.
That's so much breath in our lifetime. If we live like 80 years, I actually don't know. I didn't make an effort how to count this one. Heranda, do you have any idea?
How to say that number?
Or
672,768,000 breaths.
what about the previous one?
8,409,600.
Thank you so much. Okay, I was struggling with that before. So that much breath we take every single day, whether you are aware of it or not. This is actually a person when that person is in a resting mode. Okay, so if someone runs, you breathe faster, right? And if you are restless, or if you are scared, or if you panic, this number can change. This is the average healthy person at resting mode. This is how they breathe. Very interesting. And we do have Ānāpānasati as a meditation. So even when we sleep, we breathe in and breathe out, right? And when do we start to breathe? That is exactly when we are born into this world. When we come into this world, we breathe in. Maybe we need to biologically, maybe scientifically prove if the baby breathes in even inside the mother's womb. It is possible too, I think, through the mother's um, womb, like through the umbilical cord, the baby can still breathe in, probably. And when the baby comes out, they literally start breathing. If you don't breathe, you can't really survive. And ever since we start the first breath, and that should be breathe in, not breathe out. First one should be a breathe in, and or even, yeah, I think it should be breathe in, and then the final breath is the moment we die. So during this time, we breathe in and we breathe out so many times. That's a really interesting thing. Even if we work, if we cook, even if we are asleep, we still breathe in and breathe out. So very important to have some awareness of this fact. And today I want to discuss about this meditation, this practice, and how does it become a meditation. So if we say like you breathe in and out every single day, how does it become a meditation? Because we already breathe in and breathe out. And how does it become a meditation? It's interesting to know too. So Ānāpānasati Bhavana, or mindfulness of breathing, is a profound practice taught by the Buddha. It's a method that brings us closer to understanding the nature of our mind and the path to liberation. This practice of Ānāpānasati begins with a simple act of observing the breath. As we sit in meditation, we focus our attention on the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. The breath becomes our anchor, a point of concentration that allows us to develop mindfulness. So, in the initial stages, we become aware of the breath entering and leaving the body. We notice its qualities, whether it's long or short, deep or shallow, smooth or erratic. We begin to be aware of. We are mindful about that. This attentiveness to the breath cultivates a heightened sense of awareness and presence in the moment. So, Ānāpānasati is not merely about breathing. We all breathe. Even other sentient beings, they also breathe. The animals and other beings, they also breathe. I'm sure when it comes to the other sentient beings in the lower realms, in the upper realm, higher realms, even the devas, brahmas, they might also be breathing. And we say sabbe pana. Sabbe pana means all breathing things. I'm sure even the plants, all these fauna and flora, they might also be breathing in and breathing out. We hear that the tree, for example, would also breathe in and out. So it could happen because they are also some kind of living things. If the tree survives, that means the tree is flowering and the leaves and everything is there. And if the tree is alive, we can see that. And if the tree is dead, we can also see that. So there should be a lifespan for the tree as well. But we are not talking about those things. We are talking about the living beings. So humans, according to Buddhism, we will focus more on that. Humans, mostly humans, we are focusing on today. So Ānāpānasati is not merely about breathing, it's about cultivating mindfulness in every aspect of our experience. As we progress in this practice, we start to observe the impermanent nature of the breath and by extension, the impermanence of all phenomena. We learn to let go of attachments, understanding that everything is in a constant state of flux. So this will take you to the next level of Ānāpānasati. The Ānāpānasati can be practiced as a samatha meditation, and then you can switch to vipassana by thinking of this impermanent nature. So very, very important meditation. The next phase involves calming the breath and the mind. As we breathe in and out, we allow ourselves to relax. to let go of the mental chatter and distractions. This tranquil state helps us develop a deep sense of inner peace and clarity. For example, at the beginning of your meditation, you might hear a lot of things, some other subtle noises, and many things. Even inside the body, there can be a lot of things happening. So your mind starts to wander away, and many distractions can be there. So we have to let go of the mental chatter and distractions. It will take some time. And when you are more focused onto your meditation on Ānāpānasati, that means the mindfulness of breath in and breath out. So breathing in and breathing out, this is where we have to fix our attention. That way we can see our bodily and mentally calming sensation also happen. Through continued practice, Ānāpānasati leads us to deeper insights as we start to observe the interconnectedness of our body and mind. We notice how our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations are intertwined with the breath. This realization fosters a profound understanding of the mind-body relationship and how it influences our experiences. As mindfulness strengthens, we move towards the exploration of the mind itself. We observe the arising and passing away of thoughts, feelings, and mental states without getting entangled in them. This detachment allows us to break free from habitual patterns, reducing suffering caused by attachment and aversion. Ultimately, Ānāpānasati Bhavana, or meditation on breath, leads us to develop develop the wisdom and insight. By observing the impermanent, unsatisfactory, and selfless nature of all phenomena, we gain a deeper understanding of reality as it is. This wisdom paves the way to liberation from suffering, the ultimate goal of the Buddha's teaching. In our daily lives, the practice of Ānāpānasati Bhavana is not confined to formal meditation sessions. We can apply mindfulness of breathing in every moment, while walking, while working, or interacting with others. It becomes a way of living for you, a constant reminder to be present, aware, and compassionate in all circumstances. May the practice of Ānāpānasati Bhavana guide us towards inner peace, wisdom, and liberation from suffering. As we continue on this path, may we cultivate mindfulness and compassion, not only for ourselves, but for all living beings. Remember, the breath is always available to us as another anchor, as an anchor in the present moment. Let us embrace it with gratitude and dedication on our journey towards awakening. So, this is my initial introduction to Ānāpānasati Bhavana. And this Ānāpānasati Bhavana, or meditation on Ānāpānasati, breath, mindfulness of breathing, is explained in a number of suttas. For example, as I mentioned, the first sutta actually many suttas. So today's topic is Majjhima Nikaya 118, Ānāpānasati Sutta, mindfulness of breathing. Then we also have Girimananda Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 1060. We have a section on this topic. And then there is another sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 106, that is Ānāpānasati Sutta, the conducive to the imperturbable. And there is another sutta called Gilayana Sutta, illness. In this sutta, in Samyutta Nikaya 5210, again the Ānāpānasati is mentioned, discussed. Another Gilana Sutta is there, Samyutta Nikaya 4614, and then without exception, there is another sutta called without exception, or Anodhi Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 6102. Anguttara Nikaya 746, Sanya Sutta, perceptions, is another place. And then the most popular one, the famous one, is Majjhima Nikaya 10, the Satipatthana Sutta. Even Digha Nikaya, we have Satipatthana Sutta. In Digha Nikaya, it is actually Mahasatipatthana Sutta. It should be the second. It should be actually the second Vagga of Mahasatipatthana. Appears in the Mahavagga Pali in Digha Nikaya. First one is Silakkanda Vagga. There are 13 suttas, and in Mahavagga Pali there are 10 suttas. So in Mahavagga Pali, sutta number 9 is Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, there are a few sections where you can find this the breakdown of the sutta. So under Kayanupassana Ānāpānasati, we can find Ānāpānasati Sutta. So very interesting this information, and I think every single sutta individually can be explained in hours. So it takes a long time if we want to go more deeper into this. But I just want to focus on one sutta at least today. We also have discussed some other suttas earlier, previously, but I will also explain some of the other suttas that I have not mentioned before in our future Dhamma talks. So, talking about Ānāpānasati, how important it is for us to learn and practice this, and also apply this as a powerful tool for our day-to-day life. Also for day-to-day life, you need to recognize your breath pattern. Every time we breathe in and out, it's a different breath pattern. And if we are in peaceful resting mode, our breath is more calm and peaceful. And then it might change. It will start to change when our moods start to change. Okay, when you are angry, when you are sad, when you are upset, when you are you have temptations like lustfulness or anger or greed, even fear. You have different temptations, different moods. So then the breath pattern will change. The beauty of this practice is you are mindful about your breath pattern all the time. When you are mindful about that, you need to constantly practice Ānāpānasati. And I certainly recommend Ānāpānasati can be a common meditation practice, so you all can practice. And there are like 6 temperaments according to Buddhism, where different people can practice different meditations. Ānāpānasati can be commonly practiced by most of those temperaments, most of those people. So almost every one of us can practice Ānāpānasati. If you find Ānāpānasati is so hard, maybe you can start with Buddhanusati and then switch to Ānāpānasati. Because Ānāpānasati needs absolute silence. if you are a practitioner, you need to actually do it as a sitting meditation. When you sit, you have to also keep your body straight. That way, your respiratory system works smoothly. The esophagus will take the food down, and then you also have the food that is the food pipe, and the windpipe will connect your breath to the lungs. So this whole respiratory system should function smoothly when you practice. So it is important, it is recommended you have straightened body. That is why in many suttas the Buddha mentioned ujum kayam panidhaya parimukham sating upatapita. You need to keep your body straight. And if you can sit on the floor or on a cushion, you can sit like that. Or if you have difficulty sitting on just the floor or on a cushion, then you can use a chair. Even if you use a chair, do not lean on the chair. Just try to make your body straight. Unless you have some physical discomfort in doing so, you need to keep your body straight. And then make sure your spinal cord and the head, they are aligned. And what you can do is keep your chest to the back, little bit to the shoulders to the back, and chest little bit to the front. You can try it yourself, and then you can see your body is more aligned with the head and it is more straight. And that way you can practice this meditation more comfortably, and you see your respiratory system function smoothly this way. It's really important to know these initial things. And then maybe like for a beginner, if you are a beginner, you can close your eyes, and maybe at the beginning you can take like long breaths. Intentionally take long breath in and out. Breathe in and breathe out, and do it maybe a couple of times or so, and then you can slowly switch to natural breath pattern, and then you can focus on that. So in the sutta, it is mentioned how we do it. We focus on our nostril and the upper lip. When we breathe in, we focus on the breath, the sensation on the nostril. And when we breathe out, we focus on the sensation on the upper lip. So in between these 2 points, entry point and exit point, we need to place mindfulness or sati in between. And then we need to completely absorb into this practice. Completely absorb and observe every single breath. So there are many ways of doing it. In suttas and also the commentaries, these things are very well explained. Very important to know these things. For example, there is a way called Ganana, that is counting method. So you can start counting from 1 to 5. Breathing in 1 and breathing out 2, breathing in 3, breathing out 4, breathing in 5, and then start over. With the immediate next step, we count again 1 to 6, and then again 1 to 7, then again 1 to 8, then again 1 to 9, and then 1 to 10. And without any mistake, you can make mistake. In between, if you make a mistake, you need to start over. Okay, that is the punishment. So you need to continue to do that, and then also you should not go beyond 10. Sometimes it happens like your mind is so wandering, you're tired or something, your attention is away from you. You might start counting. You continue to count more than 10. Then it is wrong. You have to come back. You have to start over. So if you can do it, from the beginning till the end, at least several rounds, maybe 3 rounds if you can, you will notice that you are improving, you are progressing. You can self-analyze, you can self-reward, you can appreciate yourself. Oh, I can do this Ānāpānasati now. Oh, I can do it. Even I can do it like from 1 to 5 and 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9, 1 to 10. How many times I tried and it doesn't count, It's easy counting, but I make so many mistakes in between. So that means you are on the go, you are still improving. It's okay, you continue to do that, and the day you will find, okay, I can do it. Maybe change of the timing, change of the session, over the course of time, you will, when you continue to do that, especially as a beginner. I actually want to help more beginners to start this. So focus on this thing. Make sure you do it continuously, and then you can do it without any distraction. Also focusing on the counting thing. Like if you can do 3 sets without any mistake, that's really a wonderful improvement as a beginner. You will see, or you will start to feel happy. I can do it. You will start to feel confident of your meditation, and then continue to meditate. And eventually, you need to get rid of the counting habit, and then go back to your breath pattern, the breathing in and breathing out. So these are the initial instructions that we need to focus on this subject. Okay. So if we have time, probably we can do a short guided meditation at the end. And so let's get back to the sutta, Ānāpānasati Sutta, mindfulness of breathing. So one time the Buddha, the Blessed One, was staying at Savatthi in the Eastern monastery. It is not the famous Jetavana monastery this time. It is the Eastern monastery, or what we call Purvarama in Sanskrit, Pubbarama in Pali. Do you know who offered this one? That is the Migara Mata, or everyone knows this lady, Visakha. She is the one who offered this beautiful temple. And Buddha lived 45 rains retreat. Out of them, the most number of rains retreats were somehow spent in Jetavana monastery. 19 of them. 6 of them were spent in Migara's mother, or Migara Matupasada, or Migara Mata's, or Visakha's temple. That is the Eastern monastery of Pubbarama. And then there were many other very well-known, wonderful disciples like Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Mahakachana, Venerable Mahakottita, Venerable Mahakappina, Venerable Mahachunda, Venerable Revata, Venerable Ananda, and other very well-known elder disciples who were there. You can imagine, like, even think of the presence of the Buddha is so wonderful. Such wholesome feeling we get when we think of this wonderful master's presence, spiritual leaders, our spiritual master's presence. And then when he was flanked with so many other powerful disciples of him, like Venerable Sariputta, even one of them, even if we think of one of them, is such a great feeling, such a great blessing. And you can imagine there were so many of them. I hardly find a sutta where you find so many number of such famous names in one sutta, and this sutta is one of them. So please remember this sutta. On that occasion, the other monks were also teaching and instructing, and some elder monks were teaching and instructing number of like groups. They were all doing a workshop kind of thing. So one monk was teaching like 10 monks, and then others were teaching 20, and some others were teaching 30, and some others were teaching 40. So many new monks, they were being taught and instructed by these elder monks, and they were so experienced and so kind and compassionate. You can imagine, like those great Arahanta people, liberated ones, enlightened ones, with their enormous compassion and wisdom, they were helping the new monks. So it's beautiful. You can imagine, like visually imagine that beautiful scenario in the Pubbarama. So everywhere it was actually like that. In Jetavana monastery, we can also assume how many times it would have happened. You don't need a big Dhamma hall for that. They are so simple and humble people, and they could sit under a tree, on a rock. They can do it outside, just um, with the empty space. They can do it. They can talk to many other newcomers. So this was a very intense meditation time for them. Now, on that occasion, the Uposatha day of the 15th, the full moon day, actually today is also the full moon day, ill full moon day, according to Sri Lanka. So, very interesting day. The full moon night of the Pavarana ceremony, we just had that. Vasana season was over, and the monks concluded their rains retreat here. So this time also, the Blessed One was seated in the open air, surrounded by the community of monks. All the Mahasangha members were there, all around him, surveying the silent community of monks. The Buddha addressed the monks. And I want to mention that whenever Buddha start to give Dhamma talks, and he would think of the audience. If it was a normal, regular lay people, then according to that audience, the Buddha would speak. He would probably start with Dana Katha, or the importance of benefits of practicing generosity. Sometimes he would emphasize Sila Katha, like the importance of precepts, how important it is to practice Sila precepts. And Sattva Katha, maybe importance of avoiding the lower realms, because if you are born in a lower realm, it will be very hard, maybe like immeasurable or infinite time you will have to suffer there. So he would talk about the Sangha, the heavens, important to be born in heavenly realms. That's also a part of his Dhamma talk, where we call it Ānāpānasati. So there were, and then he would talk about the Kamana and Adinam, the dangers of the sensual pleasures, and then eventually he will lead the lay people to the final liberation. And at the end of these many Dhamma talks to lay audiences, at the end of it, they turned as lifetime devotees of the Buddha, followers of the Buddha, disciples of the Buddha as lay people, or they would decide to enter the order, they would live as monks. That was the case. So over here, Buddha was addressing a community of monks, a group of monks. And when the Buddha addresses a group of monks, he would directly go to the deep Dhamma. This is also interesting way to look how the Buddha was using his teaching skills. So when he saw the monks, a group of monks, a large number of monks, and also there were the great arahants like Sariputta Moggallana and all those wonderful ones. And the Buddha aroused even more intense persistence for the attaining of the as yet unattained. So those people who are about to, who are not yet enlightened, so the reaching of the as yet unreached, the realization of the as yet unrealized. So he was addressing them, giving more, emphasizing more on the practice. I will remain right here at Savatthi for another month through the white water lily month, the fourth month of the rains. The Buddha said, I would stay here one more month. The monks in the countryside heard the Blessed One. They say they will remain right there at Savatthi through the white water lily month, the fourth month of the rains. So they left for Savatthi to see the Blessed One. So Savatthi, or the modern day Sahet Mahet, was occupied by many thousands and thousands of practitioners, and that place was blessed by the presence of these wonderful enlightened masters. Then the elder monk taught and instructed the new monks even more intensely, especially when it comes to the rains retreat. They would focus more, and other times they would keep walking, keep wandering, as the Buddha mentioned, like Charata Bhikkhave Charikam, Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. So in order to help other community, the monks would wander around during the rest of the days, rest of the year. But this time around, when it comes to the rains retreat, they would focus more on their own inner practice. And especially the new monks, they were focusing more on their own spiritual enlightenment. And many senior monks were instructing them. Some elder monks were teaching and instructing again, like 10, 20, 30, 40 monks. The new monks were trying to focus, trying to learn more. Now, that time the Buddha was sitting, and then he addressed the monks, and the Buddha said, monks, this assembly is free from idle chatter, devoid of idle chatter, and is established on pure heartwood. Such is this community of monks. Such is this assembly. The sort of assembly that is worthy of gifts, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offerings, worthy of respect, an incomparable field of merit for the world. Such is the community of monks. Such is this assembly, the sort of assembly to which a small gift, when given, becomes great, and a great gift greater. Such is this community of monks. Such is this assembly. the sort of assembly that it is rare to see in this world. Such is this community of monks. Such is this assembly. The sort of assembly that it would be worth traveling for leagues, taking along provisions in order to see. So when we pay homage to the triple gem, we recite a beautiful stanza to pay homage to the Sangha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Yadidan Chattari Purisa Yugani, Atta Purisa Puggala, Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. And Ahuneya, Dakineya, Anjali Karaniya, all these qualities are explained here. And also, Punya Kettam Lokasati, the Buddha said, the monks, the community of Mahasangha, these monks are an immeasurable field of merits for the world. So it is really the way the Buddha appreciates the monk are also very important. And he says like they are free from idle chatter, they devoid idle chatter, they establish, they keep working on their own noble silence. And when you are in noble silence, you can talk to yourself. You can observe your own breath. You can listen to your own breath. You can practice vipassana. You can practice samatha. If you start talking, you can probably do that. It's hard for you to be so mindful when you talk. It's hard for you to do that when you open your eyes. And so the monks practicing, especially the beginners, they need to keep their mindfulness all the time. They have to be alert all the time. So in this community of monks, there are monks who are arahants, the Buddha says, whose mental effluents are ended. No more defilements. All the defilements are gone. Kina asava. No asavas, no cankers, no defilements, no impurities, nothing. Who have reached fulfillment. They have accomplished their spiritual journey. Done the task. Katang Karaniyan. They whatever they have to do, they have done it. They have accomplished. They have done their duty as people, as practitioners. Laid down the burden. Oh Hitabharo. They don't have any more burden. They can fly like the birds. You know, in Dhammapada, I remember, Sapatta Bharo Pakhi Sakuno, the Arahanta person or the enlightened being is compared to a bird. A bird is someone who can fly away without any burden. So the Arahanta is also like that. When we travel, we have so many luggage, right? And the bird, they would create a wonderful nest with so much effort, so much labor work, and they would also make children, and after that they would leave everything and everyone behind. So such an important way to think of how, like when someone is liberated, you have to cut off all those bonds. Just like the bird, the bird can fly without anything, nothing, no hand baggage, no hand carry, no burden, nothing, no suitcases for them. And though such an important simile, beautiful one. So laid down the burden, attain the true goal, laid to waste the fetter of becoming. So no more fetter of becoming, no more jati for them, no more bhava for them. Then who are released through the right knowledge. So once they are the right knowledge or samadhi or they they accomplish their spiritual goal by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. And the Buddha explained, such are the monks in this community of monks. We do have such great arahants in this community of monks right here, right now. And the Buddha also speaks about the others, like with the wasting away of 5 lower fetters. There are monks who have cut off the 5 lower fetters. Like there are 10 fetters, Sangyodhana, Dasa Sangyodhana we call, and 10 fetters. Some monks have cut off 10 fetters, 5 out of the 10 fetters. They are the Anagami monks. Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikiccha, Silabhata, Paramasa, Kamaraga, Patiga, they have completely cut off those lower fetters. And they are due to be reborn in the pure abodes. They are to be totally unbound. And if they pass away as anagami or non-returners, they will not come back to this world again. Non-returner means they will not return again. Destined never again to return from that world. Such are the monks in this community of monks. And then he talks about the other monks who have attained the once returner state, Sakadagami. So they have cut off 3 fetters, Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikiccha, Silabhata, Paramasa. That is attenuation of passion, aversion, and delusion. And also Kamaraga Patiga, they have substantially diluted the power of those fetters, and they are called once return. They will return only once. There are monks like that in this right here, right now in this community. And the Buddha said, then there are stream winners, Sotapanna, steadfast, never again destined for states of woe. They will never be born in the hell realms. Amazing. So wonderful. So fortunate to have that guarantee for their sansaric existence. And headed for self-awakening, and they will definitely attain the final liberation. They are also called Satta Khattu Parama. At the most, they will be born only 7 times. So their final liberation is guaranteed. Such are the monks in this community of monks. And the Buddha said, then there are some other monks who remain devoted to the development of the 4 frames of reference, 4 right exertions, exertions like the 4 Vayama, and 4 bases of power, 5 faculties, 5 strengths, 7 factors of enlightenment, Noble Eightfold Path. These are the 37 factors of enlightenment. The monks are working on these things. The Buddha said they are all devoted, committed, fully committed to the practice of 37 factors of enlightenment. There are monks like this right here, right now. And their final liberation is not far from achieving. In this community of monks, there are monks who remain devoted to the development of goodwill, compassion, appreciation, equanimity, and so these are the Brahma Viharas, foulness of the body. And there are also monks working on the foulness of the body, Asubha Bhavana, perception of inconstancy, and then the Anicca Sanya. They are all working on these things. There are monks like that right here, right now. In this community of monks who remain devoted to mindfulness of in and out breathing. So over here, the Buddha talks about the Ānāpānasati, mindfulness of in and out breathing, Āna and Apana. Āna means breathing in, Apana means breathing out. When developed and pursued, is of great fruit. So if you focus on this, if you develop this, you will find so many benefits, So many benefits. Such fruitful practice is this Ānāpānasati. Is of great fruit and great benefit. Mindfulness of in and out breathing, when developed and pursued, brings the four frames of reference to their culmination. And four frames of reference, when developed and pursued, bring the seven factors for enlightenment to their culmination. Now, the Buddha slowly starts to talk about the 37 factors of enlightenment. And seven factors for awakening, when developed and pursued, bring clear knowing and release to their culmination. So, mindfulness of breathing is not only improving your samatha, but also eventually leading you to the final liberation. So, very interesting. Remember one more thing I want to say, and that is when someone focuses on mindfulness of breathing, like the Buddhas, what they did, all the Buddhas, it is said, just before the enlightenment, they had used Ānāpānasati. Even we know in the story of the life of the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, when he was very young, very small, he started to practice. He started to practice Ānāpānasati. That is the first thing he did, as his previous meditation practice came into being right here in his last birth, when he started to practice Ānāpānasati. And it is said he also even gained jhanas. It was so easier for him because he had practiced immeasurable time, innumerable times of his previous lives, and attaining jhanas many times. So it was so easy for him to practice. Just a little space and freedom and resting was enough for him. And then he attained practiced Ānāpānasati, and then he attained the jhanas. It is said the king himself was respecting the little prince that day. So after practicing the what we call dushkara kriya, or the penances for 6 long years, extreme penances, self-torturing the body, and then he lost his energy and strength, and he couldn't do anything. He was unconscious many times. And then how he gained his energy back when he switched from this extreme Atthakila Yoga to Majjhima Patipada, middle path, and that happened when he started to practice. And he used Ānāpānasati to regain energy. And then he started to continue his journey and continue to flourish his journey towards the very end, until the very end. So again, it was the beginning, the first step of that journey was the Ānāpānasati. I just want to mention how important it is, even for the Buddha, this practice of mindfulness, of breathing, in and out breathing. Now the Buddha say how to practice it. Now, how is mindfulness of in and out breathing developed and pursued so as to be of great fruit and of great benefit? There is the case where a monk, having gone to the wilderness, to the state of a tree, to an empty building, sits down, folding his legs crosswise, holding his body erect, and setting mindfulness to the whole. And now, as I mentioned, Ujjhaya, like the monk would go to like Rukkamulagatoa, Sunyaragatoa, Aranyagatoa. So he would go to an empty place, a solitary place. Isolation is important for this practice, especially as a beginner. You need to be isolated. You need to be you need to find a place where you can find uh, much no much distraction, and then sits down folding his legs crosswise. So this one also is important to practice as a sitting posture and holding his body erect, ujung kayam panidaya, and then parimukhan sati, mindfulness to the fore. Parimukhan sati is mentioned, explained in Atakathas as this nostril and the upper lip. And also, like, there are other meditation practitioners even today, like for example, Pao Sayadaw, they focus on this nostril and upper lip, and then the Mahasi method is about the belly movement. And remember, belly movement is not Ānāpānasati. It is actually more powerful vipassana meditation. So always mindful about when you talk about the Ānāpānasati, it is the nostril. And now the monk practices always mindful. Always mindful means every single breath you have to be mindful. He breathes in, mindful he breathes out. Always mindful he breathes in, mindful he breathes out. So satova asasati sato pasasati. And breathing in long, he discerns I am breathing in long. So at the beginning of our meditation, when we settle, when we start to breathe, mostly it is long breaths. So long breathing in and long breathing out. And I am breathing out long, I am breathing out. So he recognizes it, he observes it. So you don't control it. It is natural process, not like in other yogic pranayama mode. In Buddhism, Ānāpānasati is completely about um, simple, like natural breath pattern, observing the breath pattern. And maybe like I usually do it like with intentional long breath to begin with, because it gives us a platform for us to be mindful of our breath, and then we switch to natural breath again. So over here the Buddha talks about long breathing in long and breathing out long, so the monk is mindful. Or breathing in short, he discerns I am breathing in short. Or breathing out short, he discerns I am breathing out short. He remains thus. He trains thus. So you have to train. Like the counting method, you have to train. I will breathe in sensitive to the entire body. This is Sabbakaya Patisanvedi. Again, this Sabbakaya is explained in different ways. Some people say, some teachers say, like Sabbakaya is our entire body. That could also happen actually. When we breathe in, our entire body is reacting. For example, let's say like, you see the entire body is changing. In and out, it changes. But here, mostly, it is the breath column that we need to focus on, like breathing in and breathing out. That little short breath column. Otherwise, if you focus on the whole body, it will take your mind all throughout the body. So you need to be sharp and focused on this one pointedness thing. We have to narrow it down. And so he trains us. I will breathe out sensitive to the entire body. You can practice the entire body too, but remember, like practicing here, Ānāpānasati is about the breath column. He trains himself. I will breathe in calming bodily fabrication. So I will breathe out calming bodily fabrication. So when you do that, the entire body becomes calm. When you keep working on the breath pattern, observing the breath pattern, you start to naturally calm yourself down. Your breath becomes very subtle and your body becomes calm. And over here, calming the bodily fabrication can start with the breath itself, the breath body itself. it will become calm. So it will be subtle. So eventually you might say, I'm not even breathing now. I don't even see that. That means your breath is very subtle. So the monk has to train himself. I will breathe in sensitive to rapture, that is piti, and he trains himself. I will breathe out sensitive to rapture and sensitive to pleasure, and breathe in and out again. Breathe in sensitive to mental fabrication, and so in and out, breath, mental fabrication, calming mental fabrication, sensitive to the mind, and he will breathe. I will breathe insensitive to the mind. I will breathe out sensitive to the mind, and I will breathe in satisfying the mind. I will breathe out satisfying the mind. I will breathe in steadying the mind. I will breathe out steadying the mind. I will breathe in, releasing the mind. I will breathe out, releasing the mind. Now we can see it is expanding its territory of Ānāpānasati. It's not only this now, it goes all over. It all, like occupies every single thing that is happening in our mind as well. So it is training us to control everything, monitor everything. Remember at the beginning, you don't control anything. You just observe. And eventually, slowly, once you gain control of this situation, the monitoring power is there. So the practitioner can focus more, and practitioner can be more skillful in handling many situations. Every single mood and thought can be under control. I will breathe in focusing on inconstancy. Now, you see, it is about the anicca, inconstancy. I will breathe out focusing on inconstancy. I will breathe in focusing on dispassion, how to get rid of this passion, and breathe in and out. So start with those short things, little minor, fraction of a second things, and then to expand it to many other things. So breathe in. Now you can see it opens up so many avenues for us. I will breathe in focusing on relinquishment. I will breathe out focusing on relinquishment. Every single breath is not permanent. You breathe in and it goes away. It appears and disappears. So you can think of the impermanent, and you think whether it is me that I breathe, or it goes away, and who is that? And eventually you start to focus, oh, this is not me. There is nothing called me. There is nothing permanent in this breath. So you can also start to sense that sense of relinquishment, giving up. This is so wonderful. The Buddha said this is how mindfulness of in and out breathing, when it is developed and pursued, it is of great fruit and great benefit. And when you continue to do this mindfulness of breath, and it will further develop. When you further develop and practice, you can achieve 4 frames of references, and then 7 factors of enlightenment, and then clear knowing and release. All these things happen when you practice Ānāpānasati. This is how the 7 factors for awakening are developed and pursued so as to bring clear knowing and release to their culmination. This is what the Blessed One said, and all the monks were very happy. Very important. Sorry, I could not explain these 4 frames of references and 7 factors of enlightenment today, but this is how I just want to wrap it up, I think, because of the time factor. And hope this was helpful, this was useful, And I would like to continue this topic maybe later on with more um, important factors. And I also have given Dhamma talk on Satta Bhujanga, 7 factors of enlightenment. And with that, I would like to conclude. So let us practice just a couple of minutes of breath practice, Ānāpānasati. Settle on your seats. Keep your right palm on the left palm. Connect your 2 thumbs gently. Straighten your back and your head. Gently and compassionately close your eyes. Now focus on your breath, in and out breath. Be mindful about the noises that you hear. Be mindful about the other things, and then focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Observe the breath when you breathe in long. Observe the breath when you breathe out long. Just recognize it, identify it. This is natural breathing. Observe your breath when you breathe in short. When you breathe out short, observe it, identify it, recognize it. So keep working on this practice. Every single breath, as long as you can continue to focus on your practice, on your breath, in and out breath, without any distraction. So right now when you breathe in and out, you can also think of your bodily sensations. When the breath touches the nostril, your bodily sensation. When the breath touches the upper lip, the sensation. Incoming breath carries oxygen, so the nostril area can be a little cooler. The outgoing breath carries carbon dioxide, so the sensation can be a little warmer. Continue to meditate and focus on this breath, changing every time. Every single breath has its own identity, very unique. Sometimes long, sometimes short. You can continue to experience many things through the course. Can even focus on your mind, the thought that appears. Sensation in your body, different parts of the body. All those sensations are also not permanent, appear and disappear, impermanent. Feelings appear and disappear. Thoughts appear and disappear, impermanent. They are not you, they are not I, me, myself. Continue to focus on this. Enjoy this blissful moment. Now take a good long deep breath if you wish, and then hold it for a few seconds, and then release and relax. With more positive energy, loving kindness, gentleness towards yourself, towards everyone else, gently open your eyes. All right, thank you so much. With that, we conclude our Dhamma talk on Ānāpānasati Sutta. May you all be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all of you, all your loved ones, near and dear ones, everyone in your community, in your family, in your neighborhood, in your country, and everyone in the world, including Devas and Brahmas, may they all attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your departed ones also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Bhante Sumitta for this enlightening talk, sharing his knowledge and guiding us on the path of inner peace and harmony. I would like to remind you that our Dhamma journey doesn't end here. You can explore more Dhamma resources and updates on the Dhamma USA website, dhammausa.org, or at our blog, dhammausa.com. If you have any questions or inquiries, please feel free to contact us at info.dhammausa.com. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on our special Dhamma Talk series on the Ānāpānasati Sutta, Discourse on Mindfulness of Breathing. We hope today's talk has enriched your understanding of the Buddha Dharma. And until we meet again next Sunday, may the Dhamma guide us on our journey towards inner transformation and harmony. Wishing you all a peaceful and fulfilling day ahead. Goodbye.